Is the Board of Education turning into a political war zone? The Southeast animals are getting snuggled up for the cold, and swimmers take their first dip of the season with a new event. All this and more coming up on BTV. Welcome to the first episode of BTV for 2022. I'm Miles Banks.
And I'm Ethan R. Our lead story today, the district attorney has declined to press charges in the Cedric Lofton case. Reporter Sam has more.
Cedric County and the district attorney office released footage from the juvenile intake facility, or JIAC, along with police body cam footage following the death of senior Cedric Lofton, who died while in police custody. Out of sensitivity for our viewers, we will only be showing parts of the footage. All footage can be found on the Cedric County YouTube page. On the night of September 24th, 2021, police showed up to Cedric Lofton's home around 1:13 a.m. after a call from Cedric's foster family was made concerning a mental health crisis. At 2:45 a.m., Lofton was placed in the RAP system and taken to JIAC. Then, at 4:26 a.m., after the RAP system was taken off, Lofton had an altercation with the JIAC guard, striking him in the face. This led Lofton to be taken back in a struggle to the holding room. Officers put Lofton in a prone position on the ground. Lofton stayed in this position until 5:11 a.m. when EMS and police arrived to perform life-saving measures when no pulse could be found. Then, at 5:34 a.m., Cedric is declared code blue and is transported to Wesley Medical Center. Lofton died in the hospital on September 26th. We contacted District Attorney Mark Bennett, but he declined an interview. However, in a press conference, he explained his decision against filing charges based on the state's stand your ground law. Quote, if they have the ability to defend themselves initially, because he resisted, then the fact that he continued to resist for some 30 minutes meant that they could, under Kansas law, continue to lawfully apply the restraint. The law dictates that they are judged by their actions, not by the choices not made. Many people in the community and at Southeast remember Lofton and want to push for change in the system and in the community.
There's been a dragging of feet since the beginning of this, since September when this occurred. And so we're not satisfied with the lack of transparency. We're not satisfied with the lack of accountability.
I think any time that a youth dies in the custody of adults, there are questions, there's lots of questions, and an investigation needs to take place. The biggest result that I would like to see come out of this is never seeing another child going through something like this.
Cedric County Commissioner Lacey Cruz is also pushing for a third-party investigation into Lofton's death.
This week, the county has put together a task force of some community stakeholders and others who work in the system. And while I think that is a great idea and I'm 100% supportive, I'm hesitant leaving it up to a group of community volunteers to fix this system-wide change that is needed. And we need a neutral review of this. We need somebody who's not been in this to come in with a fresh set of eyes and can be as neutral as possible. I think that the life and the death of Cedric Lofton should be a wake-up call to everyone, and we can change this system.
The governor has recently started an investigation into the case with the Department for Children and Families.
The Board of Education recently had a meeting canceled due to 3 new members not wearing their masks. This has caused people to wonder, is the Board of Education becoming too political? Reporter Donovan Powell has more.
He's working. Man, you need to have an open mind. You want us to have an open mind? You need to have an open mind.
The first school board meeting of the year was postponed as a result of the 3 new board members not wearing their masks, leading to a contentious beginning to their terms.
Well, masks are the same as your safety belts. When I drove to this meeting today, I wore my safety belt. It was not a political statement. It was not a cure-all. If I was to have a car accident on the way to this meeting wearing my seatbelt, I could still get hurt. And I think that's what mask is. That is the perfect example for mask.
Due to the noncompliance of the 3 new board members, they had to postpone the meeting to the following Tuesday at the Alvin E. Morris Administrative Center at noon.
And I thought we had an understanding between the district and I that
I could not wear a mask. I have a massive headache right now after sitting in there for 3 hours with the mask on. I can only guess how kids feel and how teachers and staff feel after wearing a mask all day long.
At the meeting, there were heated opinions expressed by speakers on both sides of the mask mandate, even though it wasn't on the board's agenda.
This is theatrics. It's fear. This is about one thing and one thing only: control and power.
It's ironic that a high school student is schooling our own school board on regulations of what they should be doing when they should already know what to do, since they are the adults.
It's one thing. I mean, not following rules is honestly a big part of it, because they aren't setting good examples for students, and I don't think you deserve to be on the school board if you can't do that.
This issue will likely be discussed at the board's meeting next month. This topic will likely be brought up again as we deal with the pandemic. For BTV, I'm Donovan Powell.
Hopefully, the Board of Education will continue to make decisions that benefit students and faculty as they continue on.
Southeast recently hosted the annual state debate tournament.
Reporter Christy Dong has more on what it takes to host such a big event.
Southeast held the 6A and 5A Acacia State Debate Championship on January 14th and 15th.
We're hosting about somewhere between 50 and 60 schools and about 250 competitors, 150 judges, 50 community members for a 2-day competition to determine the state champions.
This is the first time a Wichita public school has hosted a state debate championship in the 100 years we've been involved in this program.
We got to host it because Mr. Mitchell and myself both serve on the Acacia Board of Directors, and we were asked if we would be able to possibly open our building up, and we said it would be an awesome experience to welcome people out to see Southeast.
Since there were so many schools and students here, there was a need for students to volunteer.
Southeast students, we've got about 70 kids in the forensics program this semester, so a lot of them will be helping out this weekend. We have a lot of avid students who are coming out to do some volunteer hours, and we've got a team of kids from across the school that are going to help out on top of parents and teachers and the community members at large.
Student volunteers were assigned to different jobs around the building.
Making sure that people are well fed and not hungry during their tournament, and that they have the energy, and that's why I'm at the concession stand selling everything for $1.
I don't have any set responsibilities. I'm really here just to be kind of flexible, to show people around, if anyone needs help, to just give help.
Here to help ensure everything goes smoothly, whether it be selling concessions or just helping people get to their necessary rooms.
But hosting also comes with challenges, especially with COVID this year.
It makes being a host challenging because we have to make sure that we protect the safety of our students and our school and our community here while still allowing students to engage in high-level competitive activities.
Look forward to Southeast hosting many more events, including the State Festival for Speech and Drama in May. For BTV, I'm Christy Dong.
As the students stay bundled up for winter, what will happen to our animals when it gets too cold outside? Reporter Neil Johnson has more.
We have rabbits, pig, goats, chickens, geese, and guineas. The chickens are probably the most susceptible, even though they can handle pretty low temperatures. We keep an eye on them probably the closest.
With all the animals at the school, it can be a lot of work. When winter comes, it can be even more. But Miss Farmer has students available to help her.
Absolutely. The students set everything up. We also have some bedding that we put in our new loafing shed out there for the animals so they can bury down in it too.
When students aren't here, Miss Farmer has to do a lot of the work with taking care of all the animals.
For the most part, I come up and take care of the feeding and watering and making sure they have what they need and check on them and make sure they have plenty of bedding and that type of thing.
The weather isn't so bad here in Kansas, but it can be harmful to some of the animals.
I would say that if it gets and stays below 0 for a long period of time, then we have to be a little more proactive, maybe put out some heat lamps and things like that.
She is willing to accept help with animals. Anybody is welcome.
Well, I'm always looking for volunteers. If anybody wants to help out or come up on the weekend or during a break, just come talk to me and we'll get you set up.
Let's hope they're not having as hard of a time as we are keeping warm.
Last year during the holiday season, the choir accompanist Steve Rue, along with fellow Buffs, organized a campaign to advertise the Salvation Army. LaDavion talks about how this all came together and how they helped use a song to make this happen.
The Angel Tree song is a song to shed light on the Angel Tree Challenge and all the good that's come out of it. Stephen Rue is a pianist that accompanies the various performances we have here at Southeast. He recently made a song to raise awareness to the Angel Tree Challenge.
They put angels, little paper angels on the tree, and each angel represents a child or sometimes a senior citizen who has needs like Christmas gifts or needs that they haven't had met. And so people go and they take that angel off, and then they go buy the presents for that person. It's a really, really cool opportunity. So she took that old song and redid it in kind of an indie modern style.
Students were also involved in popularizing the Angel Tree Challenge in the Salvation Army.
And so we thought that we could kind of make a challenge out of it.
Rue and Jace hoped to raise enough money to help people and spread positivity.
I would love for the Angel on the Tree, the Angel Tree program, charity that Salvation Army does, I would love for them to see a lot more support. It's a worthwhile cause.
On our specific TikTok account, which is Wonderway Worldwide Music, we have the link to the Salvation Army website.
If you would like to help spread the word about the challenge, and use the hashtag Angel Tree Challenge. For BTV, I'm Lee Davian Hollingsworth.
It's always wonderful seeing our school trending for positive things.
Miss Host recently hosted a guest speaker in her YE class. Jordan Harris, a 2005 Southeast graduate who shared his story of starting up a successful $1 million business.
Determination is important because a lot of things we're going to find pitfalls all over the place. Things will start going well for you and then you'll fall flat on your face. But you got to be determined to be able to get up every time and not expect for things to go your direction every single opportunity.
And now, we have our first installment of Have You Heard for this year.
Today we asked Buffs, what is your most embarrassing date experience? Tell us about this story of this date of yours.
So I went to Chipotle with this girl on our first date. It was just really casual. We were like, let's go to Chipotle. And I was ordering my burrito and I got brown rice instead of white rice. And she started crying because apparently white rice is the only acceptable answer at Chipotle. And it was she was very distraught about it for a little bit. And then it was just really awkward for the rest of the time because I kept asking why she cried. And then she was like, I just don't want to talk about it. And then I never went on a date with her ever again.
I hear it's bad if you take someone to Chipotle and order brown rice.
Well, I got rejected.
I gave a girl in 5th grade a chocolate rose.
So I guess that's why I don't think very highly of the holiday.
Okay. Did you like that girl?
Yeah.
Anything ideal for your relationship that you want?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
I'm gonna say single. I'm saying myself and die.
Yeah, we respect it.
So last year for Valentine's Day, this guy gave me this giant wheel of cheese. It just showed up at my house with a giant wheel of cheese. And I had a boyfriend at the time. But then he wasn't my boyfriend, so I was like, oh, that's a little weird.
So you're telling me you never dated this person, but you just talked to them and
I didn't even really talk to them. He just showed up at my house and confessed his love for me.
with a block of cheese?
With a block of cheese.
With cheese.
That's cheesy.
There you go.
And now for the sports segment. Since our last episode, we have had a lot of more athletic events.
Evan Tong will catch us up to speed.
Welcome back after the winter break, and I think I missed sports just as much as you did. Here are the highlights of the past weeks and current standings. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. About half an hour away from home, we played at the January Jan tournament in Valley Center. We lost in the first round in a close one to the eventual champions Maize South, but managed to end our loss streak with a win against Noon, where we got set up in the 5th place game against the host Valley Center. Proving the Hornets' schedule to be weak, we brought out the raid and put the Hornets in their place to take 5th. Shout out to Mason Lee for breathing fire from 3-point range in his return. Riding an impressive performance from Asa Barnes at East and a team effort at South, the Buffs are on a 4-game win streak to put us back above 500 where we belong. And as for Mikkel, I wholeheartedly believe that he is Matisse Thybulle Jr. An away game at the beautiful North High, our ladies put out a statement win, shutting out the entire first half 34-0. They forced tons of turnovers that would make even Nathan Peterman cringe. The Glacier's Edge tournament in Emporia ended in a 4th place finish with a 44-38 win against Shawnee Heights in the first round. A close loss to Great Bend ended with a costly charging foul, 35-37. In the 3rd place game, unfortunately, Life Prep had the advantage on the boards and size inside and a 36-48 loss to finish 4th. Let's bring it back when we come home. Welcome to the mat, and for our home meet, it was an unfortunate loss for the boys, but our girls won 24-18 against Bishop Carroll to end the season 4-4, with good showings from Egypt Allen, Olivia Wilson, and Tanaya Hunt. These people went on beyond freshman PE, they went for the deep end. We are sending 4 boys out the state, including Aiden Jones, Caden Blyer, Evan Boudreau, and Parker Ray. At the Northwest Invitational, we had Aiden Jones placing 1st in the 50-yard freestyle, with Caden Blyer not too far behind in 3rd. Aiden also placed 2nd in the 100-yard breaststroke, with Caden in 7th. Let's not talk about the relay. Congratulations to the state qualifiers and keep paddling forward. Speaking of aquatics, we have a diving team now. Here's David Lowndes with the report.
It's really cool. The first year, this is like the first year we actually have a diving team. I've talked to coach in the past, and he said that the only other diving team we had was like one person on the team, which is really cool.
It's been fun. It's been great. It's definitely been a change. I've dealt with diving a little bit in the past, but not very much. We just dabbled a little bit. But this year we've gone full on, blown full diving program, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. Diving helps a lot. Without diving, we're pretty much guaranteed to take 3rd at best, most likely, because diving scores a lot of points. It's a whole separate event.
Before we had a diving program, the team was always at a disadvantage because the lack of players, no points could be earned.
In our very, very first meet, we were the only team with divers, so we swept all the points in diving, which is huge. It's great.
While in swimming, you'll need to learn 4 strokes to be able to become a qualified diver. However, you need to learn many other diving techniques.
So for diving practice, they have like around 11 dives that they usually need to meet in order to participate in the meets. So they usually just end up practicing their 11 dives and the various different difficulties to improve their dives and get more points.
Coach Gaskell encourages and welcomes for more divers to join so we can continue to have the diving program.
Thanks, David. Try not to hit your head in the shallow end, you hear? Now here's our favorite drum captain, Ricky Clay, with Buff Elites.
Hi, I'm Ricky Clay. Welcome back to Buff Elites. Today I have 3 girls varsity basketball players with me today. And, it's really great seeing these girls out here performing in the way that they do. And, I have to ask them, what's team chemistry like? We haven't really seen or heard from the girls since COVID with all sports. So, just to check up on them and how their season's going.
Okay, so I'm a senior. I'm Josiah Kennedy. This is a sophomore, Ramaya Kennedy, and that's Jakaya Jones. She is also a sophomore. I would say we have a pretty young team this year. We have 3 seniors, and then everybody else is sophomores and freshmen. So we're pretty young. We're working together, working hard. We're building this team before the 3 seniors leave.
We're trying to build more off-court chemistry, so our on-court chemistry can advance. Right now we're 6-2, I believe, and we're looking forward to the season that's yet to come.
Of course, we're all wondering, what are their plans to make it farther in the season? What are they doing to get to those goals?
Obviously, the end goal is to win state, but most of our players want to play at the next level, and at practice every day we compete to get our goal.
All right, that's Ricky Clay with Buff Elites. Once again, the girls basketball team. See you next time.
Thanks, Ricky, for this 3-point play of interview. Well, that wraps up sports. And for what you can do, support your Buffs and get loud. A sea of black and gold is a terrifying one. Back to you, Miles and Ethan.
Thanks, Evan. To help review accounting concepts, Miss Most had her class come up with a rhyme, rap, or a song.
We'll leave you now with some highlights from those performances. See you next time.
NBA accountants, yeah, we getting to it. Do the documents, yeah, before you lose it.
First you write the debit, then you know you got a credit, then you put the source, then you know you gotta check it.
Hey, property is anything that a person owns, even a device, in your pocket like a phone.
Gotta have a title so you know what it is. Could be them also put the date and a dent.
This is an account and you know what it is. Put the page number so you know where it is.
Gotta add the debit and the credit so they match.
Just as young kids and we're speaking straight facts.
And never forget that.
Assets equal liability plus owner's equity.
This is a song about the accounting cycle, written by an accountant named Michael.
step forward. We got this in the drawer. Once the general journal has been done, time to go to the journal ledger, son. Designate the date. Now the journal ledger is looking great. The post ref is next. Writing the page number is not that complex. Enter the debit amount and don't be in doubt. Complete the new account balance. The math may be a challenge. Now go back to the general journal. No time to watch till the moon eternal. Enter the account number, the post record. Now you're almost finished and looking awesome. The retreat, it's time to repeat. To the save for the crack. Now you're finished, it's legit.